Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to show you the number one muscle group you should strengthen to stop hip pain.
Ooh.
And we're going to make sure you have a leg to stand on. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Don't make us come out there and find you if you don't subscribe. Go to bobandbrad.com. We're always doing a giveaway. What it is, we don't know. This is a future video.
That's
but
right.
Go check it out and put it in the comments what we're giving away.
Yeah, it's something fun.
Yeah, go to Facebook. It'll be pinned to the top of the page. Yeah, we give away mattresses sometimes.
Yeah, so it could be a mattress.
Yeah, it could be a mattress. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program. And Brad, we have a podcast, don't we?
That's right. If you can find it, it's somewhere in the list.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just search Bob and Brad.
So the number one muscle group you want to strengthen are the glutes. So there's three glutes: the glute maximus, glute medius, glute minimus.
That's a lot of That's a lot of Latin too.
Yeah. So what these muscles do, besides helping the hip move, they actually stabilize the hip too. So here we got a leg, and this is the femur, and this is the head of the femur,
right?
And that fits into a socket, just like that. Those muscles help stabilize that bone into the socket.
Right.
If they're not doing their job, this can slosh around, and it can often move forward and start pinching structures in the front. And that's where you start getting pain on the front of your hip and the back, right where the socket is.
Yep.
And it can go down the leg too, is what I was trying to say.
Right.
So we want to strengthen all those muscles that help hold it into the socket, and it'll make the hip more stable. And I mean, this isn't something where you're going to see results right away.
Yeah, any strengthening takes time.
It takes time, but once you get it strong enough, you'll see some decrease in your pain most likely. All right, Brad. What am I going to do with this now?
Well, I don't know. Give it to the dog? No, we'll put it back on Sam.
All right, we're going to start off with glute pumps. And that's for the glute maximus, and it's probably one of the more important ones. So you're going to start off. You could lie on a pillow if you wanted to, but otherwise you can just lay down like this. You're going to bring the leg up like this. That takes the hamstrings out of it. And you're just going to lift towards the ceiling.
Yep.
Am I going straight up, Brad?
You are. You're doing a good job.
It's hard to tell.
I noticed, I was doing this on a video I was watching. It's like, I didn't have my legs straight up. I was like,
you were going like this.
Well, yeah, it wasn't right. But it's not that big of a deal if it's not perfectly straight.
With all these exercises, you want to concentrate on squeezing the butt too. You're going to get just a little more strengthening out of it if you do that.
So if you think about squeezing your butt cheeks together.
Yep. Putting the quarter in there, right, Brad? And squeezing it together.
Yeah, like a slot machine.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Another way you can do this is actually in the quadruped position.
Sure.
So you can actually go up this way. You get a little core strengthening with that, and it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, you're going to want to tighten your stomach muscles up because everything works together. You just can't forget about it.
Now, if you want to make these a lot harder, you can actually use a band.
Oh, yeah. Which one do you want to use, Bob?
I'll take the gray one here.
This one's a little smaller.
So these are nice bands. And again, this is definitely advanced because this is going to provide a lot of resistance to it.
Right. Yeah. If you're got a weak hip or you've been, elderly or you've had an injury or something, you're not going to use these right away.
The further down the leg they are, the harder they are. Mm-hmm. So if you bring it up a little farther up on the hip, it's going to be a little easier.
Are you doing the clamshell?
I was going to do the pumps first and then the clamshell.
Okay.
So I got to get back on here.
Ooh.
So, all right.
Put mine on.
So this is pretty tough now here. So I'm getting quite a bit of resistance here. You went with the pink one, Brad. I got to give you a credit.
Well, a little easier to see for the people viewing. I'm always concerned about our viewers.
He always keeps the viewers in mind, right? Well, what are you going to do now?
Well, I don't know. I just wanted to put it. If you had one,
all right.
I was going to do some hip abduction.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into the minimus and medius muscles, the glutes, and how you can actually strengthen those in a standing position.
Which oftentimes is a little more advantageous because the muscles are standing and they work as they do when you're walking more often. Now, if I move this down to my knees, this is a lot harder here than when it was up here. So it's a nice way to vary it. And obviously, you're going to want to work both legs. And I shoot for 10 repetitions, particularly with these heavy bands on. If you get to 10, those muscles should be burning. If they're not, move it down a little bit.
I'm sorry, I had to wipe my nose.
No, don't worry about it, Bob. That happens.
All right, next one. Another one that actually works on the glute max and the medius and minimus is the clamshells.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to lie on your side and you're going to actually put your ankles together and your knees together.
Here, allow me to point it out, Bob. So, yep, feet touching right there and knees touching.
Yep. And you're just going to open the clam here.
Yep. So I always think like a pivot point here at the feet and at the hips. And it's like a clam open. That's why they call it the clamshell.
Now, as far as the number of repetitions, usually around 10 to 15, or take it to fatigue. You're going to be surprised if you don't do this activity or exercise. These muscles fatigue pretty rapidly.
Right.
I mean, I do them and mine's getting tired.
Yep. Yeah, because you do it slow with some meaning and they're going to do the job.
And obviously, again, you can use the band and make it more difficult.
Right.
I wouldn't start off with a band on these.
Yeah.
Because, again.
Are you going to tell your story about getting
I don't think I'm even going to tell it because you're so critical of it.
Well, I've heard it so many times, Bob. He got sore hips because he used the band too early.
Well, I used it too early, and I also did it every day.
And too many repetitions.
Too many repetitions, yeah.
It's a guy thing.
I thought I was strong. I hadn't been doing it. I just jumped right into the band, and that's a mistake. And obviously, you're going to do both sides. That was just
turn over
the one side right there. The last thing you're going to do is just to do some squats, Brad.
Oh, yes.
You're going to you actually can do the squats with the band on too.
Oh, that is actually a good idea.
It is.
Yeah.
Because then
you
you're
want
actually,
me to put it on?
Yeah, you go ahead. Because I'm going to do the kettlebell.
Oh, good idea. So you can do this with or without the band, but the band really does an extra. I'm going to have the chair. Normally, I'm going to do this like this.
Right.
So I have something to hold on to or a countertop. But just imagine that's there so you can see what's going on. I'm going to spread my legs out, get a little tension on there. And with good posture upright, I'm going to drop down and keep pushing out with my knees as I drop down. So you're working two good muscle groups, the abductors and the glute max at the same time.
So you're getting all those glutes at the same time, basically.
Oh, it is a nice, and you could just feel it working and really, it's one of my favorite ones.
This is actually one of my favorite ones is using the kettlebell. So,
yes.
And you need a decent amount of weight. I think you start off with a low amount, but I'm actually up to 50 pounds now.
Ooh.
This isn't 50, this is 30.
Right. So for seniors or if you're weak, you don't have to worry about the kettlebell.
I just like this for the back too.
Sure.
But you're going to legs apart. And, we got a whole video on showing how to do the kettlebell, but basically, I'm using my hip thrust to bring it forward. You're not lifting it with your arms.
Yep.
You're using the body weight to lift it up like this. And I don't like to squat way down. I mean, they'll show people going down this far, Brad.
Yeah, that's look like a backache.
To me, I just like to keep my back in right position. Yep. And I think I'm looking all right, aren't I, Liz?
I'm not saying nothing.
All right. The kettlebells, my wife loves these too, and she does them.
They're very popular.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. Not because they're not good. I prefer other things.
Right. She loves them, and she does. I think like a couple sets a day.
Sure.
So,
how many of those you got around your house?
Well, she's this was the one she was using, but I think she's gone
She
up now
outgrew
too.
it?
Yeah, she wants to think about going to the 50 pounds. I go, I don't know, Linda.
They're kind of hard to take on vacation.
Yeah, no, you won't take them on vacation, right?
Can you imagine a luggage with a 50
yeah,
pounder?
right. Yeah,
you're gonna have to tip the people carrying that.
You exceed your limit right away. So, all right, remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything
except for
a broken heart.
That's right.
We got to get some relationship training. Then we can fix a broken heart.
The kettlebell will take care of it. Just drop that on someone's chest, boom, and it'd be like, it'll start the heart up.
All right.
It'd be like a,
like a lawsuit. Thanks for watching.